50 years after his death, Bruce Lee remains a symbol of physical strength and masculinity for the Asian community and a 20th-century cinema icon. However, after his death at the age of 32, rumors and speculation regarding his marriage, drug use, and passing spread rapidly. Now, 5 decades later, his daughter Shannon Lee has stepped forward to shed light on the true personality behind the legendary icon, sharing revelations that have left fans stunned. Before delving into these details, let's first explore the reasons behind his actions. As his daughter insists, there's a deeper aspect to his legacy that deserves recognition. Bruce Lee's early life. Bruce Lee faced significant challenges during his life and upbringing. Bruce Lee was originally named Lee Jun Fan. His father, Lee Hoi Chen, was a famous Cantonese opera singer based in Hong Kong, while his mother, Grace Ho, was from Shanghai and had Eurasian heritage. In December 1939, his parents embarked on an international opera tour in California, performing in San Francisco's Chinatown. Bruce was born there on November 27, 1940, which granted him American citizenship under the country's Jus Soli laws. At the age of 4 months, in April 1941, the Lee family returned to Hong Kong. Their return coincided with a tumultuous period, as Japan launched a surprise attack on Hong Kong in December 1941, resulting in 4 years of Japanese occupation. During this time, the Lee family endured unforeseen hardships amid the chaos of World War II. After the war, despite Hong Kong's efforts to rebuild, the Lee family encountered difficulties. Lee's father experienced a decline in his career. Lee's childhood was marked by struggles, including his father's career downturn and financial difficulties. His restless nature often led him into confrontations with local gangs, exacerbating his parents' concerns. Despite these obstacles, Lee's father recognized his son's potential and arranged for him to study Wing Chun Kung Fu under the tutelage of the revered Master Ip Man. Initially, Lee met resistance due to his mixed ancestry, but his determination prevailed. As Lee deepened his knowledge of martial arts, his passion flourished, and by the age of 18, he was experiencing remarkable success in boxing competitions across Hong Kong. However, his involvement in street fights and competitions caused distress to his family. In an effort to provide him with better opportunities and guidance, they made the difficult decision to send him to the United States. Upon arriving in the United States, Lee immersed himself in various activities, including education, martial arts training, and sharing his expertise by teaching his unique interpretation of Wing Chun. By establishing his martial arts school in Seattle, he quickly attracted attention, drawing students and receiving recognition for his skills. In 1964, his growing reputation led to him being invited to showcase his martial prowess at the prestigious Long Beach International Karate Championships, where he notably demonstrated his powerful one-inch punch. As Lee's stature in the martial arts world continued to soar, he encountered challenges, including a highly publicized fight against Wong Jack Man in San Francisco's Chinatown. Emerging victorious from this intense encounter, Lee solidified his reputation and asserted his authority to teach martial arts to anyone interested. The path to fame. By the mid-1960s, Bruce Lee had firmly established himself as a highly skilled and unconventional martial artist, attracting enthusiastic students eager to learn his unique techniques, which he had named Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. His expertise caught the attention of Hollywood producer William Dozier, who was impressed by Lee's demonstration at the Long Beach International Karate Championships in 1967. Consequently, Dozier invited Lee to audition for a role in the television series Number One Son, centered around Charlie's adventures. Before exploring his more controversial aspects, it's essential to trace Lee's journey to stardom. Prior to his opportunity with Number One Son, Lee was gradually building his notoriety through small acting roles. Notably, in 1966, at the age of 25, he landed his breakthrough role as Kato in the television series The Green Hornet, introducing American audiences to Hong Kong martial arts for the first time. As a professional martial artist, Bruce Lee broke conventions by refusing to rely on typical American point fighting techniques, preferring instead to showcase his expertise in Wing Chun. His commitment to authenticity extended even to adapting his ultra-fast movements for the camera, slowing them down to ensure they could be properly captured on film. During his time on The Green Hornet, Lee befriended another martial artist and stuntman, Bruce Lee, with whom he shared valuable insights on fighting techniques. Although The Green Hornet met a premature end after a single season, it served as a stepping stone for Lee's burgeoning career in Hollywood. After the show's cancellation in 1967, Bruce Lee found himself at a crossroads, facing uncertainty and a lack of stable employment opportunities. Determined to forge his path, he established the Jun Fan Gung Fu Institute in Los Angeles, where he embarked on refining his own unique approach to martial arts. Disenchanted with the limitations of traditional martial art styles, Lee sought to create a system that prioritized adaptability and practicality in real combat scenarios. Lee's philosophy emphasized a fluid, ever-evolving style, devoid of rigid adherence to any particular tradition, a concept he famously called Jeet Kune Do, or the way of the intercepting fist. Drawing inspiration from diverse disciplines such as Wing Chun Kung Fu, boxing, scrims, and more, Lee created a comprehensive martial arts framework that revolutionized combat training. His innovative approach challenged existing norms and laid the groundwork for a new era in martial arts philosophy and practice. Bruce Lee's influence extended beyond martial arts, as he spearheaded advancements in weight training and physical conditioning specifically tailored for martial artists. His emphasis on physical fitness and practical application set a new standard in combat training, attracting a notable circle of celebrity students and supporters. Among them was Hollywood screenwriter Sterling Silliphant, whose collaboration with Lee opened doors to opportunities in fight choreography and small acting roles. In 1969, Lee's talents shone as he choreographed captivating fight scenes for films like Marlowe and The Wrecking Crew, demonstrating his expertise both behind and in front of the camera. Despite his contributions, Lee encountered obstacles in Hollywood, struggling to secure leading roles and feeling limited by the industry stereotypes based on his ethnicity. During this period, he engaged in a creative partnership with Sterling Silliphant and actor James Coburn, crafting a film script titled The Silent Flute, a project that, although unfinished at the time, served as a platform for his artistic growth. By 1971, Bruce Lee's frustration with limited opportunities reached a breaking point. Hungry for stardom and eager to showcase his talents, Lee followed the advice of producer Fred Weintraub to return to Hong Kong for a groundbreaking venture. Unbeknownst to him, his fame had soared in Asia after portraying Kato in The Green Hornet, earning him celebrity status in the region. Hong Kong films break through to Hollywood. Following negotiations with major studios such as Shaw Brothers, Lee struck a deal for 2 films with the emerging studio Golden Harvest. The first film under this agreement, The Big Boss, premiered in 1971. In this film, Lee portrays a young Chinese man who moves to Thailand and becomes involved in the fight against illicit drug trafficking. Displaying both his martial arts prowess and philosophical depth, Lee's performance marked his debut as a leading actor. Despite its modest budget, The Big Boss shattered box office records across Asia, propelling the relatively unknown Lee to overnight stardom. Riding on this success, Lee took on the protagonist role in Fist of Fury later that same year. Set in 1930s Shanghai, the film follows Lee's character on his quest for vengeance for his master's murder. Utilizing powerful strikes, sweeping kicks, and innovative nunchaku techniques, Lee showcased his combat versatility. He personally performed all these stunts, infusing each fight scene with emotional intensity and spiritual depth. Like its predecessor, Fist of Fury achieved remarkable commercial success, surpassing box office milestones established by Lee's earlier works. In 1972, for his third Hong Kong feature film, The Way of the Dragon, Lee was granted complete creative authority. He took on multiple roles as writer, director, producer, choreographer, and lead actor. The plot revolves around a young martial artist who defends his family against threats posed by the mob. Notably, the film features Lee's famous and extensive fight sequence against Chuck Norris at the Coliseum, a scene revered for its blend of athleticism and raw intensity. The Way of the Dragon enjoyed immense success, grossing a staggering 5.2 million Hong Kong dollars, making it Lee's highest-grossing film to date. After cementing his status as a genuine movie star, Lee co-founded his own production company, Concord Production Incorporated, alongside Raymond Chow. Their collaboration led to Lee's first foray into Hollywood, the 1973 film Enter the Dragon. This groundbreaking film marked the first time a major Hollywood studio, Warner Brothers, produced a kung fu film. Set during an international combat tournament on a secluded island, Lee portrayed a Shaolin monk tasked with monitoring the event. Enter the Dragon achieved unprecedented success on a global scale, grossing over $90 million worldwide. Its unparalleled impact not only elevated Lee to legendary martial arts status but also triggered a worldwide craze for kung fu cinema. It's truly tragic that Bruce Lee died at the age of 32, just a few days before the premiere of his greatest success. Despite the brevity of his career, Lee left an indelible mark as an international icon, introducing Chinese martial arts cinema to mainstream audiences. He revolutionized martial arts choreography for the screen using innovative camera techniques and editing methods. Beyond his physical strength, Lee emphasized the importance of emotional depth and philosophical enlightenment in his performances. Even after his premature passing, Lee's legacy continued to thrive. Unfinished footage from his final film, Game of Death, was salvaged and assembled by Golden Harvest, incorporating Lee look-alike actors, stunt doubles, and existing footage of Lee. Throughout the 1970s, 1990s, and 2000s, interest in Lee's distinctive martial arts techniques and philosophical reflections experienced a resurgence. His writings on self-realization and emotional liberation resonated deeply with many individuals. Bruce Lee served as a bridge between the worlds of Hong Kong action cinema and Hollywood, leaving a lasting imprint on both industries. His films elevated the global awareness of Hong Kong's film scene and paved the way for future martial arts luminaries such as Jackie Chan and Jet Li. Lee's innovative fight choreography continues to inspire and influence filmmakers to this day. Bruce's family. During his studies at the University of Washington, Bruce Lee crossed paths with Linda Emery, a fellow student. However, interracial marriage faced legal obstacles in many states at the time, prompting them to marry secretly in August 1964. Over the years, they welcomed 2 children into their family, Brandon, born in 1965, and Shannon, in 1969. Yet, behind the scenes, Bruce grappled with the complexities of celebrity and human fallibility. Despite their strong bond, he occasionally succumbed to the temptations that accompanied his celebrity status, leading to moments of infidelity with Linda. Despite rumors circulating about his affairs, Linda chose to ignore them rather than confront her husband. Actress Sharon Farrell later recalled a passionate encounter with the martial arts legend at the height of his fame. Nevertheless, Linda remained devoted to Bruce. On the day Bruce died, he was in the company of actress Betty Ting Pei, sparking public speculation. However, Linda remained steadfast in her defense of her husband, even after his premature death, reaffirming the deep and genuine love they shared. In a heartfelt letter countering sensational reports surrounding his death, she emphasized that as his wife, she knew the real Bruce, beyond the exaggerated narratives presented by the media. Their enduring bond continued to illuminate her memories despite the challenges encountered. Linda was deeply saddened by Bruce's sudden death in 1973, attributed to an allergic reaction. Yet, she devoted herself tirelessly to preserving his legacy and managing his estate throughout the ensuing decades. In 1975, she authored an intimate biography of her late husband, serving as the foundation for the 1993 film, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. The story of Bruce's son, Brandon Lee, is as tragic as it is suspicious. Following in his father's footsteps, Brandon aspired to become a martial artist and actor. After Bruce's passing, Brandon, along with his mother and sister, relocated to Seattle. His first film was the Cantonese production Legacy of Rage in 1986, followed by appearances in several other films, including Kung Fu, the movie, Laser Mission, Showdown in Little Tokyo, and Rapid Fire. However, tragedy struck during the filming of The Crow in 1994, which was poised to propel Brandon's career. On March 13, 1993, at the age of 28, Brandon was fatally injured on set due to an accident with a prop gun. Intended to be loaded with blanks, the gun contained a real bullet, resulting in Brandon's accidental death. Unfortunately, this incident was not the only accident during production. Brandon's premature passing added another layer of mystery and sadness to the Lee family story. Nevertheless, despite these losses, there remain family members who continue to honor the legacies of Brandon and his father. Shannon, Bruce's daughter, was just 4 years old when her beloved father died. Growing up, she sought to connect with his legacy by studying Jeet Kune Do under the tutelage of her father's former students. Shannon Lee may not be the most widely recognized figure in her family. She hasn't experienced a tragic demise or pursued a high-profile acting career. Instead, she leads a fulfilling life as a wife and mother, married to Jan Kiesler and raising their daughter Ren, born in 2003. Despite her absence from the spotlight like her father, Shannon is a multifaceted individual. She is a producer, actress, and entrepreneur. Additionally, she advocates for gun safety on film sets, drawing lessons from her brother's tragic loss. Shannon plays a vital role in carrying forward her father's legacy. She established the non-profit Bruce Lee Foundation, which organizes summer camps where children can learn Bruce's philosophy and hone their martial arts skills. Shannon ensures her father's legacy endures for future generations, with Ren now in charge of the Bruce Lee Snapchat account. Initially, following in her father's footsteps was challenging for Shannon and her brother. Embracing Bruce's specialized martial arts method was emotionally difficult, but Shannon eventually embraced it as a means to feel closer to him. Similarly, entering the world of Hollywood was initially painful, especially after losing her brother. However, Shannon's perspective changed when she discovered a story her father had envisioned, titled Warrior, among his personal effects. Intrigued by the narrative set in San Francisco's Chinatown, she decided to bring it to fruition with the help of Justin Lin. Warrior has since become a successful police series, with 3 seasons available for streaming on the Max platform. In contrast, Linda has stepped back from her active role within the Bruce Lee Foundation. However, even in her late 60s, she remains committed to preserving Bruce's memory, viewing it as a sacred duty. She strives to ensure that Bruce's countless fans as well as their family understand the remarkable man behind the iconic figure, emphasizing not only his physical strength but also his philosophy of compassion. Despite the passage of time, Linda and her children continue to welcome new generations of Bruce Lee enthusiasts to the foundation. These young people are captivated by his films and eager to learn from his techniques. They recognize Bruce not only as a skilled fighter but also as a profound thinker and devoted family man. The tragic loss of Lee at such a young age remains deeply felt by his family, yet they persist in sharing his enduring legacy with the world. Bruce's death. Bruce's premature death has been surrounded by grave rumors and speculation. The shocking death of the martial arts legend at the age of 32 has fueled enduring conspiracy theories and endless speculation over the years. As Shannon, his devoted daughter, juggles the complex legacy left by her father, she strives to untangle truth from fiction surrounding the mysterious circumstances of Bruce Lee's passing. In 1973, Bruce Lee was at the pinnacle of his fame, recognized as a martial arts superstar and a groundbreaking Asian actor in Hollywood. On July 20th, tragedy struck as he visited actress Betty Ting Pei at her home in Hong Kong. Lee suddenly collapsed after taking a painkiller for a headache. Despite prompt efforts to transport him to the hospital, he succumbed shortly after arrival. The official cause of death was attributed to cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain, likely resulting from a previous collapse that Lee had experienced 2 months earlier. However, this sudden and tragic loss of a prominent figure in the prime of his life raised immediate questions. Speculation began to circulate about romantic entanglements, drug abuse, mafia vendettas, and even family curses. Sensational headlines portrayed Bruce Lee's death as the culmination of a night of unbridled partying or bizarre sexual escapades gone wrong. Linda, Lee's wife, felt compelled to counter the offensive allegations tarnishing her husband's reputation. For Shannon, who was just 4 years old when her beloved father died, protecting his legacy from rumors and innuendo has become a lifelong challenge. Amid the confusion following Lee's death, producer Raymond Chow falsely claimed that Lee was at home with Linda on that fateful evening. When Chow's deception was revealed, speculation arose that Lee might have been involved in a passionate affair with Betty Ting Pei. Angry fans directed their reproach toward Ting Pei, accusing her of being involved in Lee's premature death. Some even went so far as to suggest she was a hired assassin by Chinese triads seeking revenge for unpaid debts or eliminating mainland cinema competition. Others pointed fingers at Raymond Chow, insinuating that his ambitious business partner might have orchestrated his death to gain control of their production company and maximize profits. In the realm of Lee's posthumous fame, Chow had much to gain by owning Lee's successful films like Enter the Dragon and Game of Death. One of the most extreme notions is the idea of a curse afflicting the Lee family, with Shannon's grandparents having suffered the loss of a son before Bruce's birth. Proponents of this theory point to the eerily similar deaths of Bruce and his son Brandon as evidence. However, such supernatural explanations overlook more plausible factors, such as Brandon's tragic accidental shooting on the set of The Crow. For Shannon Lee, navigating through these rumors and speculation has posed a significant challenge in preserving her father's legacy. As the sole heir to Bruce Lee's estate, she has dedicated herself to protecting his reputation and presenting his talents to new generations of fans. Despite her efforts, sensational conspiracy theories persist around Bruce Lee even decades after his death, compelling Shannon to continuously defend her father's honor. While the complete truth surrounding Bruce Lee's premature death may forever remain elusive, his daughter remains steadfast in rejecting sensationalist claims and unfounded speculation. Shannon wishes for her father to be remembered for his contributions during his lifetime, his magnetic charisma, unwavering work ethic, and profound impact on martial arts. Rather than dwelling on conspiracy theories, she perpetuates Bruce Lee's legacy by passing on his teachings, a precious heritage she shares with all admirers. Bruce Lee's daughter breaks the silence after years of silence. Shannon Lee has broken the silence in a narrative that promises to make waves. But could these revelations add even more layers to the already mysterious legacy? As the principal heir to Bruce Lee's estate, Shannon has made it her mission to defend her father's memory against lies and disputes. Now, half a century after his shocking disappearance, Shannon sheds light on Bruce Lee's true personality and dispels persistent rumors that have loomed over her family for years. In a recent interview, Shannon shared insights into her father's innovative mindset. She highlighted his strong philosophical roots and dedication to continuous self-improvement, incorporating timeless values into his daily life. Shannon emphasized that her father cultivated his mental faculties as diligently as his physical strength, using the power of his mind to bring his goals to fruition. She believes this quality is why many regard him as the embodiment of unlimited human potential. However, Shannon didn't hesitate to address those who haven't fully embraced Bruce Lee's legacy. She criticized director Quentin Tarantino for his portrayal of Lee as presumptuous in the 2019 film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Despite Tarantino's defense as artistic liberty, Shannon remained steadfast. She pointed out inconsistencies in the film, such as Bruce losing a fight to stuntman Cliff Booth, a scenario she deemed unrealistic. Shannon asserted that her father, Bruce Lee, was a genuine martial artist, with a documented winning record. Shannon expressed her frustration with Hollywood's tendency to stereotype her father as a kung fu caricature, rather than acknowledging his authentic martial arts expertise. She criticized Tarantino for implying that her father, unlike the fictional character Booth, wouldn't survive in the jungle, attributing this portrayal to racist stereotypes that underestimate Asian martial artists' skills. Shannon found it ironic that Tarantino, who admired her father's kung fu films for Kill Bill, would perpetuate such disrespect toward Bruce Lee's legacy. She argued that Tarantino should have consulted their properties for fact-checking before depicting her father in a derogatory manner. Shannon vigorously denied accusations linking Bruce Lee to crime or substance abuse, calling such claims scandalous fabrication. She emphasized that her father had never used hard drugs in his life and criticized the media for sensationalizing his death with unfounded speculation. Shannon lamented the circus-like atmosphere surrounding her father's passing, calling for a focus on medical facts rather than sensational rumors. According to Shannon, the truth behind her father's death is far less sensational than the stories concocted by tabloids. She clarified that Bruce simply encountered complications related to medication while recovering from a previous health issue, resulting in an allergic reaction. Shannon emphasized that his disappearance was not the result of a drug overdose or scandalous behaviors as some had suggested. She expressed how deeply these false allegations had affected their family and described navigating through such rumors and innuendos as a lifelong challenge. As Bruce's devoted daughter, Shannon has little interest in entertaining conspiracies or controversies. She is committed to preserving his legacy by sharing his talents and teachings to maintain his true essence. Rejecting sensationalist claims, Shannon strives to spread Bruce Lee's profound philosophies and unwavering determination, the authentic qualities that contributed to his legendary status. She proudly highlighted that even after 50 years, her father continues to be revered for his achievements and remarkable abilities. However, Shannon expressed concern that as those who knew Bruce personally pass away, others might distort his complex story. Therefore, Shannon insists that she is here to share the truth about Bruce Lee's life and his remarkable qualities. What are your thoughts on Bruce Lee? Comment below to let us know. As always, if you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to support us. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay connected.